First off, we have Kevin Davis. He is the Creative Executive Director of the Designlab. He's been working in the creative industry for over 20 years and has a vast repertoire of work from art and brand direction to digital and print design. Specialising in brand communications in the beauty and fashion sectors, he has some exciting trends and insights to share with you today.
Hello everyone, nice to see such a small room. So, it all started for me when I was 14. I started visiting London with my best friend, Michael Jones. Initially to go and watch West Ham play football at Upton Park on Green Street. I think I got really excited every time I came to London. I think it was a sense of freedom, a sense of excitement, stuff that was going on around. There's always something exciting to feel the senses. There's always something new to see and find, and about discovery. And it's no different now, 28 years later. Every time I come to London, I feel the same excitement. There's still that anticipation of what I might learn or what I might discover. Nowadays, my time's not spent going to football, but coming to events like this. My time is spent surrounding myself with people who are inspirational and brighter than me, soaking up everything they're talking about and taking it to my clients, feeding my curious mind. I do this because, as my role as creative director, I see myself as a bit of a hunter-gatherer. To take new stuff back to the nest, to my agency, to my clients. And I do it primarily because my clients can't get out and do that. It's difficult to get out of the office. So London is often hailed as one of the world's most creative city, and I actually agree with that. I think this rings true for me. So, everything in this room has been created. Everything has been considered. The colour of the walls, the type of flooring, the chairs. And nowadays, these things are really important to us. They're becoming more and more important to us because we're editing our lives, we're curating stuff. So design has become to the forefront of most people's minds. And the way we look externally is it's just stuff like this. You know, we're showing ourselves in a certain light. Now take your phones out, please. So just have a look at them for a moment. Have a look at the bezels. Have a look at the backs. Have a look at the fronts. Have a look at the size of the type. These have all been considered by someone. They've all been created for you for a certain purpose in a certain way. So now you've got your phones out, feel free to keep them out. Take photos. Use the hashtag Tomorism. We're at Designlab.net. So when I was a young designer at 16. I got my first job at 16, so I was encouraged by the owners of the agency to keep a scrapbook. Keep a scrapbook of stuff I liked. I didn't know why, I thought it was a bit strange. But now I'm owning myself, I understand why I was meant to keep it. And I encourage people in the agency to do the similar thing. But nowadays, we keep them online. We keep them on Pinterest. So stuff like this, visual things. Stuff by artists like Hattie Newman. There's Wit. Controlling two things, I'm a man. Witty advertising. There's Sam, you're going to press the button. Beautiful architecture. Seemingly disconnected bunch of stuff, but we keep it for a reason. I'm sure actually that Mars bars used to be this big one day. We also keep stuff like this, stuff that we see, clever things. Like Lucy Davis, she's an artist in London. She wanted to travel the tube without her Oyster card. So she decided to create her own nails, use the RFID chip under her nails to get around town. Bloody genius, really. We also want to show you this. An advert from 1992. Timeless.
And I know it's stupid to be mad about the boy. I'm so ashamed of it, but I must admit the sleepless nights I've had about the boy. he melts my foolish heart in every single scene. Although I'm quite aware that here and there are traces of the can about the boy.
So it's a Levi's ad, and it's over 20 years old. Nearly 20 years old. Who would have thought it? Timeless stuff like that, it's the kind of stuff that we should all aspire to create. I know I do. So, we keep this stuff because it feeds the brain. It's our brain food. The thing is, as a designer, I'm always looking around, I'm always criticising stuff, I'm always soaking stuff in. And that can be a bit of a problem because you can be hypercritical sometimes. I'm always thinking how I might improve stuff. I think the American poet summed up why we do it very well. So you can't use up creativity. The more you use, the more you have. So as I see it, there are two types of creatives. We've got the logical thinkers, the people that understand process. They've got their own way of thinking. At the Designlab, we affectionately call them the Geeks. Their minds work like this. It's yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. There's nothing in between. There are no variables. You've probably heard developers talk about variables. I know lady in the middle of the back has. These are generally people in accounts. They're the programmers, the producers, the sensible people, seemingly. Then we've got the other people, the illogical thinkers, the free thinkers, the people that don't think in the same way. Their brain goes around like this. It carries on until it stops somewhere. And it's usually not where you expect it to be, or hopefully not where you expect it to be. These are the conceptual people, the designers. We call these the freaks. So I was at an event last week, and there's a video I want to share with you. And it's a great insight from a lady, Baron Susan Greenfield. She's a neuroscientist, who was very eloquent in the way she explained the three stages of creativity. She can do it a lot better than me, so I'm going to let her do it for me.
I'm Susan Greenfield. I'm a neuroscientist based at Oxford University. I think what's killed creativity is actually growing up. Because if you think about the process for children, they're always willing to paint, they're willing to ask questions, they challenge dogma because they're not aware of what the dogma is. And it's the same for creativity. Really, the first step is to deconstruct what other people accept. In science, you're always challenging preconceived ideas. For example, even in designing a car, with the Mini, they challenge the dogma of having the engine in the front. But that's not all. It's not enough just to ask questions. You then have to bring together unusual, unprecedented elements. Why isn't a child's painting automatically qualified to hang in an art gallery, even though they are seemingly being creative? And I think the third stage, which is the hardest one, is that it has to mean something. It actually has to be relevant. It has to make you see the world somehow in a new way, whether it's a book, whether it's a painting, whether it's music, whether it's science. You suddenly say, aha, now I understand. That's the hardest thing. And I think what kills that final process is the elimination of the first two prerequisites. When you're very young, you're able to do the first two, challenge dogma, bring together unusual elements. But by the time you're grown, by the time you're equipped to have a meaningful context where you can join up the dots, by then you're too frightened, you're too scared to ask the question in the first place.
So what I took away from this was that we need to unlearn what we've learned before. I'm sure you'll remember moments like these. When you're a child, there are no boundaries. In something like this, you could be flying to the moon. You could be sailing the seas. You could be driving a fast car. You can do exactly what you want, just with a box. So it appears to start the creative process, we need to escape. To get away from external influences, especially the internet. The internet is only a place to find validation, only a place to research. It's never a place you're going to find new ideas. It's a place to procrastinate rather than create. So, Eric Schmidt, from the chairman of Google, probably said it a lot better than that. He said, I worry that the sort of overwhelming rapidity of information is in fact affecting cognition. It's affecting deep thinking. Now don't forget, these are the guys that know how much information there is on the internet. Maybe how much crap there is on the internet. He also went on to say that sitting down reading a book is the best way to really learn something. And I worry that we're losing that. And I kind of agree. And to prove a point, sometimes we've got to look back at the past to understand these things. So the outsiders, the visionaries, the people who created some of the most valuable, applauded, and beautifully creative things. People like Van Gogh. Obviously, he's famous for cutting his ear off. This is a self-portrait of him just after he'd done that. See, bandaged first. We've got Prince, the purple little fella. And we've got this lady, Vivienne Westwood. So these people, when they started being creative, didn't have the internet to copy from. They had 3 simple things. They had a pencil, a piece of paper, and definitely these 2 things. I think Dorothy Parker picked something up on this. So, on to modern day visionaries, or outsiders, or strange people, or possibly Bond villains. This guy's Elon Musk, I'm sure you've all heard of him. He's a maverick. People like this are creating our future, and it's actually closer than we think. In 5 years' time, this guy wants to colonise Mars. Just think about it for a moment. But for now, he's happy with creating electric vehicles that drive themselves. He's also happy to create buses, make autonomous cities where they're going to be driving themselves around the city. They're going to be electric, obviously. He's also looking at creating lorries that drive themselves, and they drive so close to each other that they'll be so efficient. I think the guy's trying to save the world. These are big ideas that might one day save the world. Also, oh, here we go. I don't know if you remember a while ago in supermarkets, I don't know if they still got them, when they had these big tube things around the cash tills. And you used to see that the cashiers, they used to get a little capsule and fill it with cash. And they used to put it in there and it used to pop up and shoot to the back office. He's kind of taken that idea and made it massive, or wants to make it massive. He's doing tests at the moment. This is something called Hyperloop. It's one of them big tubey things on a big scale. It's going to transport people. Currently, it's predicted it will be able to go 700 miles an hour. You will be able to travel from LA to San Francisco in 35 minutes. And this is a journey that currently takes 1 hour 20 on a plane. So these are really extreme examples. But if you look back at the past, at Leonardo da Vinci, or look now at madmen like Elon Musk, they are going to be able to create our future, all through their minds, all through creativity. So what's really exciting for me about the future is that the barriers to making these ideas has become less and less. And because of technology, we're able to have an idea in the morning, we're able to create a sketch of it on a computer or a 3D model of it. We're able then to go to a 3D modelling place and get it output as a prototype. And by tea time, or before EastEnders, we can get it online to a worldwide audience. Now, this will create some great stuff, but it's also going to create a lot of shit. So what I'd like to do is try and help you avoid creating the shit. So I would suggest, in my humble opinion, to create great stuff, we need to go for simple. Simple is best. I saw this last year on LinkedIn. Now, it's not beautifully finished, but it's a brilliant idea. Ideas do not always need to be beautifully finished. Sometimes stuff is just knocked up once. Brave is brilliant. So this advert, a long while ago, was very brave. And actually, I think the brand were really brave to publish it. And it was accused of causing road traffic accidents in cities. I'm sure that was more men than women at that time. Creative should solve a problem. The Gravity Light project has given impoverished African families access to sustainable, safe and environmental light. Basically, in the poorer parts of Africa, they use kerosene lights to light their houses. Now, for one, kerosene is dangerous. It gives off fumes, and actually it's really quite expensive. So projects like this, a light that relies on a weight on the end of the hooky thing, pulls the string down and creates a dynamo to create light, only costs $20. Now the families get that cost back within 3 months. So these are really great things that people are doing. Make it different. So it's no surprise why 70,000 people flock to the Burning Man Festival in the Nevada desert each year. This is a place like no other, where extreme creativity and self-expression is king, and a community where cash is not accepted and giving is encouraged. This is a place where things can grow and manifest into something really powerful. I had to put this in. Has anyone got one of these in their office? If you do, I think it's a creche. I believe the environment you work in is really important. It influences how you think. I'm going to do a quick hands up. Who's encouraged when they're faced with a problem they can't solve to get out of the office, to go and look up, to walk around? None of you. That doesn't surprise me. I think in order to change our thought patterns, we need to do that. We need to get out. We need to go for a train journey. You know, how many times have you solved problems sitting behind a computer? You know, they come to me at about 3 in the morning, and it's a right pain in the arse because when I start thinking, I can't stop thinking, particularly when you've been told a problem for a few days you can't solve. They also come to people in showers. You know, they come to people in strange places, train journeys, sitting in something like this. You know, someone might say something that triggers your brain into a certain kind of journey. Personally, I travel a different way to work every morning. It breaks your thought patterns. As creatures of habits, we need to do things like that. We need to break our thought patterns. I would say just get out of the office. So Google understand how disruptive thinking can cause great creativity. They've got a rule that they actively encourage their staff. It's called the 80-20 rule. So they encourage people to spend 80% of their time on work projects and 20% of their time on other stuff, not necessarily work related. This has led to some really great innovations. So it's also led to some rubbish innovations. Now that's fine, because Google are happy for their staff to fail. Because only when we fail do we learn to make things better. So I'd like to tell you a little story. A place not too far from here, in 1993, I used to read a magazine called ID, and it had an article about Shoreditch, and in particular the large community of artists and the parties in this area. And at that age, it really interested me. It was where young British artists lived, people like Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin, as well as the designer Alexander McQueen. They were attracted by the large spaces and the cheap rent. So I'd been working for a while, and in 1998, I was doing a lot of stuff for early e-commerce sites. I was designing front-end stuff for Monsoon and Accessorize and Vodafone for an agency that I live around the corner from. And I was curious how the other side of stuff worked, the programming side. So I signed myself up for an HTML course, and it just happened to be on the Kingsland Road. Now, I'd never heard of the Kingsland Road before, but done a bit of research and found out it was this place where these guys lived. So I was really excited about it. It was the summer of 1998. The day came, I got on the train, came up to London, and got the tube to Old Street. I started to make my way to this place. Now, at that time, there was no iPhones or Google Maps or anything like that. And the more and more I walked away from Old Street, the more and more I got concerned. Because this is not the kind of place I expect to go and learn something. It was a bit crap. It was dirty, and in the end, luckily, I made it to the college. So at lunchtime, I decided to go to a small sandwich shop around the corner and go for a bit of a wander. I wanted to explore it, see what this place was like, see where these people live. And after a while, I made it down to here, and I'm sure most of you will probably know what this is. This is a tea building. Yep. So it's around the corner from Brook Lane. Now, when I was down there wasn't Crossrail. When I was down there was a massive void between here and Liverpool Street. It was a pretty nasty place. But actually, considering it was so close to something called the Murder Mile, it felt really safe. It felt okay. It was honest. Anyway, I survived those 2 days unscathed. But one thing I did discover is I was crap at programming. I'm wired differently. So fast forward 5 years to 2005. When this house here, 315 Kingsland Road, was worth £191,000 or thereabouts. So you can buy this then. The area has started to change at this time. The low rents, the freaks it enjoyed, were now being shared by a new arrival of creative agencies, and then the Geeks, the tech startups. The agency seemed to like the areas around Rivington Street and Hoxton Square, and the Geeks liked the roundabouts. So while the tech startups like to favour what is now known as Tech City, it's just outside of just outside of Old Street Tube. In 2010, by 2010 there were 5 startups in the area. Just over a year later there were 200. And now, this rundown part of the city has become one of the world's top 3 tech hubs and is now home to over 4,500 tech firms. So since I've been visiting the area, it's changed massively. The Geeks and the Freaks are still there. It might not be as edgy as it once was, but in the early 90s, but it has become a very desirable place for businesses to attract staff. I believe that from the early creatives, like the Emmons and people like that, attracting the other creatives, I think have really helped the area. Now, this is, Sam? This is the same house. So I do believe the huge transformation of this area is down to the creatives. Initially moving in for the cheap rents, but then staying around to help attract larger investment, other people. Creativity is attractive. It's not quality that everyone has. Now, whilst I don't entirely agree with gentrification of areas such as this, I do think that creativity has made a difference, particularly to 315 Kingston Road. So, imagine what this could do for your businesses and your brands. Imagine creating your own little creative hub in your businesses. Imagine what it can bring to you. I'd just like to leave you with 3 key points. So, this is how I believe we can help harness, foster and create creativity. Escape the internet, it's evil. It's just a little bit evil. Look outside your world, get out of the office, pick up a pencil, use your mind. I think Lady Greenfield says, challenge dogma, think simple. Again, forget, unlearn what you've learned before. And make a creative community. So, I believe if we can make a creative community within our businesses, eventually, alongside the CEO and the CMO, we're going to have a CCO, the Chief Creative Officer. I believe that will add value and make a change. And I just wanted to leave you with some words from the scholar and political theorist John H. Sharp.